but the bell's already been rung, and they've heard it. But in the dark, among the stars, they know that God is dead.
Yeah. So now let me change from a lyric to spit. Just like we didn't change Snyder's vision to shit. This man has no clue about DC Comics. And man, what the hell was the Superman's lit? I can't even watch it. What's up, all my DC and Snyderverse family? It's your boy O Life, and welcome to Snyder AVE. This is the second episode of Snyder AVE, and it's going to be another theory vid. Now, let me just start by saying I didn't plot out to be like the theory guy. Every episode of Snyder AVE isn't going to be theories, but that being said, I can't help that I have them all the time. Ever since I was a little kid, comic books, cartoons, movies, whatever, I always get these theories in my head about a bunch of fantasy shit that really doesn't matter, but it's something I'm good at. I've been good at it my whole life. I come up with these theories and they kind of drive me nuts until I find out if I'm right or not. And a lot of times I turn out being right, honestly, but that being said, this theory is about Knightmare Joker and the pictures that we got in the last few days, and basically what Jared Leto's Joker's wearing in those pictures and what he's doing in those pictures and why. So I have two different points to this theory, two separate theories, but kind of one because it's all about the same thing. Part of it is about why he doesn't have the tattoos, and the other part is about what he's doing in the pictures, holding up the card and everything. So let's start with the first point I have, which is why doesn't Jared Leto's Joker have any tattoos in the Knightmare timeline? And I think it's because at some point between now, Suicide Squad, whatever you want to call now, and that point in the future, in that timeline, the events of the New 52 have already taken place, basically. And Joker has already removed his own face, spent like a year running around wearing it with straps like a mask, and then he found the Lazarus pit under Gotham City and healed all his wounds, like in the comics. And those wounds would include tattoos, technically. I mean, in the comics, every mark and scar on him is gone, and he's reborn and completely healed new after. And previously, his face was cut off and he was wearing it as a mask. You know what I mean? So I think tattoos also would heal in a Lazarus pit and become new skin again, basically, is what I'm saying. And I think that totally explains it. I think when Zack says, water under the bridge has happened, time has passed, we know he knows all the source material, and he's pulled stuff from the New 52 before in the previous movies. So I think that's it. I think that at some point in the last, I think the Knightmare timeline's what's supposed to be like 5 years in the future, it's been said. So at some point in that 5 years, he cut his face off, like in the New 52, and probably spent like a year doing the whole wearing his face as a mask thing with the Joe's Garage overalls and the whole nine, and then he found that Lazarus pit under Gotham City, hopped in it, healed everything, and has had the new skin since. And that's why in the future, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, he's not going to have any of the tattoos. Now, my second point is about the 3 images of Joker most recently released, and what is going on with the Joker card and what Joker's wearing. If you look at these images, it's clear he's wearing like rubber gloves. And it looks as if he's wearing some kind of like tarp or protective overshirt type of thing with like rubber straps holding the wrist closed. Like if you look, he's got like on the rubber gloves and the overall shirt that he's wearing, there's like rubber straps at the wrist holding it tight to the glove, almost as if like he didn't want anything to get in there. You know what I mean? And he has a surgical mask. If you look under his chin, he's like wearing a surgical mask, but he has it pulled down. And he has like an apron on too that you see over his legs. And in the pic, he's holding and looking at the card like he's examining it, or possibly presenting it to Batman, because we know in that picture now, Batman's the one at the other side of him, because Zack released that other picture of Batman a couple days before, and he's facing forward,
And it looks as if from the Joker image that Joker's sitting on the other side of him, but you just don't see him in the Batman pic because Batman overshadows, you know, the outline of his body overshadows like Joker sitting within it in the three-dimensional perspective, you know. And if you look at it close, it even looks like there's some stain spots on the card itself, on the Joker card. And I think it's because Batman has Joker making like Joker poison pellets, basically, with the Joker poison. And Joker does it and throws his own twist on it by dipping his Joker cards in the poison. So that way, if any of them get captured, they can lick them or slice themselves with them or whatever and poison themselves to death before Darkseid and Desaad can torture them and turn them into monsters, like we saw in the animated movie Apocalypse War. I'm sure Desaad will do, and probably has done, fucked up shit to the ones that get captured. I mean, all through the comics and in that animated movie and other animated movies even, like in Justice League War 2, Desaad is like Darkseid's mad scientist. He's the one that is like turning humans into parademons and trying to turn Superman evil and all that shit. You know, he's like the mad scientist of Apocalypse, kinda. And I think that's the whole reason that Batman is there in the first place, for him and Leto Joker to have the discussion that Zack's referring to in the Vanity Fair article. Like when he says Joker is talking to Batman about Batman. I think it's because Batman's there to pick up the poison cards for the remaining team members that are alive. And when he comes, him and Joker just shoot the shit, basically. And then that's also why we see that Batman has the card taped to the gun in BVS. I think the Joker scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to take place before that. I mean, obviously it is, because, you know, we see that Batman loses the gun, doesn't have the card, and gets captured and killed by Superman in BVS, obviously. And Zack Snyder even says in the Vanity Fair article that the scene will explain why Batman has the Joker card on the gun in BVS, which is another thing that kind of makes me think I'm right, because it's a poison pellet. That's why. And just for the record, so everyone knows now and in all my future videos as well, whenever I reference BVS, I'm obviously referring to the Ultimate Edition, which to me is the only edition, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you guys too. I mean, really, I haven't watched a theatrical release since the minute the Ultimate Edition dropped. Like, when the Ultimate Edition got announced and came out, it came out on digital first before the physical release, and I own the digital copy and I own the Blu-ray, because the night the digital copy came out, I took off from work the next day and stayed up and waited for like that overnight drop and downloaded it and watched it right then and there. I mean, like, because I knew when I saw BVS theatrical that there had to be more. I felt it inside. I knew, just like I knew with Justice League. And the last time I watched the theatrical cut was probably like earlier that night before the Ultimate Edition dropped, honestly. So anyway, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it, at least until March 18th, and then we shall see gloriously. So let me know what you think, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who has already started supporting me on the first episode. I fucking love all you guys, and honestly, I mean, a lot of you I'm a fan of as well. And it means the world to me for you guys to like and comment and all. And like, I'm just eternally grateful for the support and love the community is showing me, honestly. Thank you guys. I fucking love all of you. And for anyone new, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out episode 1 if you haven't. And if you haven't heard my Snyder Cut song or my music in general, if you want to check it out, that's all on my channel as well. I have 2 albums on there besides the Snyder Cut song. Well, 1 full album, finished album actually, from back in 2010, and a current album that I'm a couple tracks from finishing right now. But all the singles so far from the new album are on there, and if you go to playlist, they're all collected under the album title, which is Alternate Earth, is the name of the new album. So yeah, so that's it. Thanks for stopping by Snyder AVE, everybody. Until next time, go life out.
Last Saturday we had the hashtag up, released the Snyder Cut, and we would not give up till we got to see the vision Warner Brothers promised us. And then we trended up despite all the naysay, and made them notice that we were never gonna go away. Kept fighting every day, and I guess that was the key, 'cause now Snyder Cut. It was the Justice League, then you douchebags fucked it up. Release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. Why did you chop it up and make it fucking suck? Now we're getting ZSJL, now we're getting ZSJL, and all you naysayers